Hey everybody, we have a really cool lesson today, and one of the first things that I learned in the community was the concept of a frame. Not a picture frame, not framing somebody for murder, nothing like that, but the concept of a frame comparison between two people. In the community, the term frame basically means a worldview, but also at the same time, there's an intensity factor of that worldview. So if two people are talking and one of them has a worldview, the other one has a contrasting worldview, one of them is going to be the alpha and retain that worldview, and the other one is going to completely what we call falling into the other person's frame. They're going to basically give up, become the beta, and adopt the other person's worldview. No matter who the two people are, one of them is going to fall into the other person's frame, and they're going to be the beta. The other person is going to be able to call the shots. Now, in the community, this played out absolutely clearly when a guy would go up and talk to a girl. And so the guy would go up, talk to the girl, and have a conversation, and she would intentionally say something to contradict him. And I can't tell you, 98% of the time, the guy, out of just wanting to please the girl and not wanting to ruin the interaction, would completely give up on his worldview and adopt hers. So it might be one of these things where the guy says, hey, look at that guy. I like his boots or shoes or whatever it is. And the girl's like, those boots are knockoffs. There's no way. And the guy's like, oh yeah, that's right. I didn't see that. And the girl loses respect for him. And the girl realizes, wow, this guy is just trying to get over on him, and he doesn't even have spine. And in sales, it's the same thing. It could be that the person's trying to do some fake artificial scarcity routine, and they're telling the prospect what their manager told them to tell them. I could only make an appointment on Tuesday mornings. And then the person says, well, I can't do Tuesday mornings. And the person who it doesn't have any firm flag in the ground has a choice. They can either stick with that, and then the position in their mind, that interaction is dead and it's not going anywhere, and they're potentially burning a legitimate prospect. Or they can completely give up on it and say, okay, well, when do you want to meet? And all of a sudden you're letting the prospect dictate what goes on in the future. So whereas the top performers, what they do is they're going to make up their mind, and they're going to say, okay, I'm only going to meet people at this time, but I'm not just leaving it there. There's a concept of building up value and really setting yourself apart from the other people, to making it very clear to the other people that you are the polar opposite of every needy, low value, money hungry, maybe even salesperson they've ever met. And so it comes to a point in time where you actually shift that on the other person. And if you've established your value enough that when you set up a true scarcity thing, it doesn't mean that your schedule is booked. It's like, I just only want to make appointments on Tuesday mornings between 9 and noon. That person's going to have the decision to make that the first person did, that we talked about, the spineless one, and just saying, look, I've just met this guy who's totally better, totally different. He's kind of the unicorn out there, and I have a decision whether I'm going to bend my schedule to be able to work with this guy or lose it forever. And in the end, it's kind of a test. If you set your value high enough and they're just not, wanting to move their schedule, then it just indicates not that you did anything wrong. It's just that you have the wrong person. This person will eventually back out of a deal, and these people are going to eventually be more, honestly, work and trouble than they're worth. So it's good to know that now. Whereas the person you want to work with, who's going to be responsive to you and renew and buy more things and expand, their products that they buy from you, they're going to go kind of out of their way a little bit to make sure that they're able to meet with you. And so this concept of a frame is important, because what it does is it really smokes out the people who are not going to be good clients of yours, or people that basically, don't show up to an appointment or do something that really doesn't help you, versus the people who are going to be the most profitable, high referring, low maintenance, lucrative clients you can imagine. But you have to be able to set the frame first. So when you're talking to somebody, the idea is you're setting a worldview of what you believe, and you're not backing down from it. It's a deeply held belief. It's not fake. It's not some manipulative little tool or routine you're going to run, but it's something you firmly believe. So for example, when I've had in my sales job that I started all this, if somebody sent in their contract and they sent in their little signature page, then we're ready to go. And every single person in there took it, ran it, turned it in, and they were so happy. But for me, great, you send it in, but I need, number one, if you're going to send it in, you have to send it in by a deadline. You have to do a couple other things. You probably are going to have to do something a little bit inconvenient to show me that this means something to you and that you're willing to change your schedule and prioritize what we're doing over whatever else is going on in your life. And in the end, what it is it's asserting that strong frame. And if not, that's fine. You can still work with my company, but you're not going to work with me. And the person that you're going to work with is probably going to be so much more of a lower value person that doesn't know their stuff, that doesn't have their connections, and isn't able to really navigate the course for you, so that you basically have somebody that's looking 3 blocks ahead so that you never have any negative obstacles approach you. And so you can either kind of ignore what I'm telling you and work with somebody who really just needs the practice and needs more clients to practice on, or you can work with somebody who has a limited supply of clients and you're going to earn your way on the roster. And it starts with that strong frame. I know the perfect client that I want, and I want to book as many of them as I can. But I'm really looking out for the people who are the fool's gold, who they look like they're going to be great clients, but they haven't done anything to show me that they are. And those are the people that aren't going to refer, that'll cancel at some point, that don't show up to an appointment, but they have tons of excuses. But in the end, I have a worldview of what I'm going to accept, what I believe, why I believe it, and in the end, the people that fall into my frame are going to be stellar clients. And the people that don't, they can go work with my competition, and you're more than happy to have them. And in the end, what it does is having a strong frame really allows you to identify those great clients versus the ones that'll waste your time. And what better thing to have than to have something where you can literally quickly discern how to spend your time and who's going to be most productive for you, and then those who are just plain posers. I got something really cool for you next week. I appreciate you spending time with me today, and I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson.